Dan Stratan, Chief Executive and Founder of RCI Holdings. You're in the business of advising businesses, helping businesses deal with precisely this kind of challenge. So what are you hearing from the business world? What are your actions in the business world to bring this transformation about?
I fully agree with the consequences, which are massive, of this unprecedented revolution, technology revolution. But I would like to focus in my speech on the impact on leadership. How will this reality, new reality that Marcel described beautifully, how will it impact the leadership of today and especially the leadership of tomorrow?
Yeah.
So I have the trend to look at AI adoption as a mirror and as a magnifying glass. A mirror because it is something which reflects our lack of, let's say, optimal behavior. Whether we are looking at data, we are looking at processes, and we are looking at what we could optimize through AI adoption, we see not necessarily a perfect image of ourselves and our operations. We see a lot of flaws in what we are doing today. But for me, the big concern is the part of the magnifying glass, which is how are we going to train AI for the future? Is this magnifying glass going to exacerbate and to do what I call humanity revealed, meaning which part of us will train the AI agentic tools? Are we going to train it through greed? Are we going to train it through tribalism? Are we going to train it through hunger for validation, addiction to outrage, anger, fear? So we already know that we have AI agents which are lying to us, which are inventing things. And this is something that I think most of the people have already experienced. They invent, for instance, in one of our companies, they invented a company with a Cayenne code which never existed. So I think it's a lot of responsibility that we have as leaders. I definitely believe that now is the time for what we call strategic foresight, meaning to try to predict plausible futures and how will future of work look like in this world where Marcel was just mentioning, probably we are the last generation to manage humans and not human AI agents, let's say teams. So my concern is more on the ethical side, on how we deal with the impact of uncertainties, how we deal with the impact of anxiety in our teams, because, of course, the low-hanging fruit is to say we cut costs, while we should be thinking about a new way of working together and a new kind of leadership which is able to, let's say, put this new way of relationship between humans, first of all, to reskill, upskill talents, and to search for talents which are, let's say, adapted to the new configuration of the work.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. I think I like the way you put this. I think it's clearly we're confronted by a period of transformation, of destruction of existing value in traditional companies. What we need is the creative bit. So we've got this period of creative destruction, as Schumpeter put it. That's the bit that we need to make sure that we lock in.
I think the crisis we are facing is not a technological crisis. It's a spiritual crisis, because we are able to magnify our technology capabilities, but whether or not our empathy or our human relationship evolves at a certain pace, I think that's where the vulnerability of it all is.
What I want each of you to give me, very, very briefly, is examples from your organization of how this technology is already transforming the way things are done. Some example from somewhere within your organization. Let's find out if you guys are up to speed in leadership with AI.
No, our organization, because, you know, we are trying to test many things on our own organization, and I think our organization has been a champion in transformation even long before we needed to transform. So I will answer to you very concretely. We have 4 directions for 2026. Number 1 is called strategic abandonment, which is what we are abandoning from what we are doing today, and this translates in scope, people, and performance. There's a very nice saying, which is, there's nothing worse than doing well what you should not do at all. So we actually were able to do a budget of these investments and time that is allocated to building new things. Number 2, we started the creation of a learning organization, and this is valid for everyone. And I declare myself the Chief Learning Officer because I want to learn, hopefully, more than the others. Number 3, AI adoption. Here, very simple, use cases that we are picking up across the 23 companies that we own. And of course, they are very different one from the other, and we are monitoring this. And very important, innovation, foresight and innovation, which is actually how we reorient our business for a future-proof activity. So these are the things we are doing.
Excellent.
My question is, given the fact that this is a new revolution, and given the fact that technology, compared to other revolutions, has no borders, meaning that governments have a little way to do policy for the technology. How do you think we will be able to keep our prosperity? Prosperity meaning the prosperity of the average person, not the average prosperity, when in the age of AI will create a bigger disparity between people who have a high level of knowledge and a high level of resources, compared to people that are with a lower skill and with a lower level of resources. How will we keep the prosperity of the average person with the disparity that AI will naturally bring?
I think we are underestimating the impact, and we are, you know, optimists by nature, but I think we are underestimating the impact of this technology compared to the previous technology revolutions. I think this one is much deeper, much more dramatic in terms of social impact than any of the revolutions we had experienced before. So I am a little bit skeptical about the ability of the society to protect its own citizens, because if you look at what's happening today, efficiency is the first wave of AI adoption. So cost cutting, laying off people. And this is something which will create, I'm pretty sure, more social problems than we imagine right now. For now, it touches quite, educated level of people like IT, programmers, and so on. But I think this will have a much more significant impact. So personally, I am not optimistic in terms of preserving this kind of average, let's say, wealth, individual wealth.